Howdy friends, and welcome back to Toy Box Nostalgia. I'm Douglas, and in this video we're going to be unboxing and reviewing and taking a very close look at the absolute brand new 2024 Mattel Turtles of Grayskull mutated Mer-Man. That's right, this Mer-Man is this is gorgeous. What is 2024? Is it the year of Mer-MANIA? I don't know. This is our second out of 3. We're still getting another one from New Eternia Masterverse. Mer-Man is one of my favorite characters of all time in Motu. So for me, this is like Christmas this year. I love it. Wait till you see how gorgeous this action figure is. If you're new to Toy Box Nostalgia, you'd love to see more content like this show up into your YouTube newsfeed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It truly helps out the channel. And thank you so much to everyone that subscribed. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you. If you're a fan of Mer-Man, or Turtles of Grayskull, or Mattel, or Masters of the Universe, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, give me a thumbs up. I'd love you so much forever for it. And drop a comment below letting me know what you think of this crazy year. Like, 2024 is definitely Mer-Mania. Just made that up. That's what it is. And that's what we're going to call it from now on, alright? Thank you so much for watching, my friends. Give me about 10 seconds to set all this stuff up and the lights and everything, and I'm gonna catch you after this quick break. Alright, my friends, take a look at this incredible packaging. This looks absolutely fantastic. The first thing I noticed whenever I unboxed this I think I got it from Walmart store, was the fact that the waistband in this piece right here that's connected to it can actually go over the snake-like body, or the serpent body, unlike Necroconda, according to the man-child. The man-child said that he could not get that piece on the snake body without, manipulating it in some way, or, customizing it. So that's really cool. Right off the bat, that is really awesome. This window showing off the action figure, we've seen this before. We've seen this packaging before multiple times here on the channel. I think it looks great. Mattel's doing a great job at showcasing what's inside and everything that you get, while at the same time providing us with tons of beautiful custom artwork. Take a look at that right there. That is amazing. On the top left, we have Mer-Man with the serpent body. Over here on the right, we have Mer-Man without any, with his armor off, and he's got like his human-like legs. They kind of look like clawful legs, maybe, or whiplash legs. And it says Turtles of Grayskull, and that crazy gloss print looks amazing. Says Mer-Man, mutated mindless Leviathan. That the name they came up with is absolutely awesome. Again, I'm so excited for this. I love Mer-Man, and I love the fact that we're getting 3 in 1 year. That's nuts to me. Over here on the left side of the packaging, we have a glossy print artwork of Mer-Man. Again, this time he does have his human-like legs, but he has all of his armor on. He's holding this giant green kelp-covered sword. Looks amazing. Over here on the right, we have him in full armor with the serpent body, and he's holding his trident, and it looks like he's like going to cast magic maybe on someone or something. Amazing. Masters of the Universe X Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on this clear sticker here on the window. I absolutely love that. So down here says Mattel, and again, look at the colors. It's like Halloween, right? We have all of this beautiful purple, and then it like fades into ooze green. We even have the pipes from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like, because of like sewers and such, right? And then we have purple. It's kind of like Snake Mountain, maybe. And it's still kind of covered in ooze. Like all of these bricks just came out. They fell out to reveal the actual character inside there, the Mer-Man inside there. And they do have like ooze, or maybe they're glowing from him being covered in ooze or being mutated. He does have translucent parts to him. It's just incredible. I think this looks absolutely awesome. Flipping over to the back, we have even more artwork. And this looks like it came directly from like a really high quality comic book. Let's zoom in on this a little bit. This looks crazy. Up here at the top, we have Masters of the Universe. This box is unpunched. Nickelodeon, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles up here on the right. And then just look at that. Absolutely beautiful. We have Mer-Man inside of a pool of water. He's got his serpent body on, holding his trident. and the 4 Ninja Turtles are there to battle. Like, they're just ready to battle. Over here we have the power sword here, jammed into like I guess a large piece of driftwood. But take a look at this stuff. Like, this is reminding me of the cartoon. Like the backgrounds that we would see in the cartoons. We have bats up here. That's crazy. Maybe Hordak's coming. I don't know. I always associated bats with Hordak when it comes to the artwork, like teases and stuff. I don't really see any other teases on here, honestly, on the box, because we already have these 4 Ninja Turtles. Yeah, we pretty much have this stuff. I don't think we got a power sword with He-Man, though, so I'm unsure about that. And then there's like a floating mountain in the background. That's absolutely awesome. I'm going to zoom in up on this so that you can pause and read if you like. Down here we have 2 action shots: attack from the sea or swap tail and legs for land battles. That is really cool. Mattel empowering the next generation through play. I love that. Let's finally open this up. This packaging, I had to showcase this. This is this is too nice, and it's absolutely one of the biggest aspects of this experience, obviously. Here we go. Flipping over the flap here. Look at that right there. We do have some instructions. Shows you how to swap the legs with the serpent body and how to hold the giant green kelp covered sword. Here's the background. We've seen this background recently with Slacker, like all of these colors here on this cardboard. And then this is yet another piece of cardboard right here. This is not a comic book. I wish this were a comic book, because look at that cover. That would have been absolutely fantastic. And I can only imagine what the artwork in that type of comic book would have looked like. But here we are, Mer-Man, mutated mindless Leviathan. I'll zoom in here in case you want to pause and read this part. These are like really rare from my perspective, just because I don't know where to buy them. You know, Paul Mart store, like they came to my rescue. I really, really wanted this because I love Mer-Man. So here are the instructions here. We have remove and swap parts, removable parts. We can remove the head, we can remove the arms at the shoulders, we can remove the hands, we can break the character in half at the waist, and we could remove the feet, the boots, like at the boot cut. This looks like it does have some plastic bands in it, so give me a couple of seconds and I'm going to get this out of the package. Okay, so this is everything that we get in that little box. Amazing. We get this deluxe action figure, looks absolutely fantastic. We get a set of human-like legs. We get the trident. This looks exactly like the trident that came with the cartoon collection. Then we get a new sword. So let's start, obviously, by taking a look at the action figure details, my friends. Wow, take a look at that. I love the colors. I love the fact that it's like, you know, if you go into like a store and you go to buy like party decorations that are mermaid themed, they're always like this aqua color, this light green and blues. And Mattel stuck with that and somehow made it look kind of badass. I love the imagination that goes into this. I love the fact that this mashup even exists. Like, to me, it just blows my mind every time I open one of these. So let's take a look at the face. It looks like the pupils are printed on and they are absolutely razor sharp. Looks fantastic. We have white teeth and you can see even the top teeth are painted perfectly. The inside of the mouth is a dark purple, same as the front of the face right here on the head. Then we have a translucent blue plastic for the head. Fins on the sides of the heads, those are transparent. As you see, like that's really, really cool. Definitely want to shine a light through this guy. So take a look at this armor, right? This armor is nuts. It kind of looks like one of the Mer-Man that came with Origins. It kind of reminds me of that armor, but it's painted really well. Like, we have all of these spikes that are kind of bone colored, and then we have this white here, and then we have like a blue gem. We do have shoulder protectors on the armor here, made with like a rubbery material. Absolutely awesome. We do have the ooze veins on the translucent blue body, like the upper portion of the body on the arms. Look at that. It's a green color. That just looks absolutely awesome. We have these really nice gold bracers, which matches the gold really well of the shoulder pads. And then we have these gigantic hands. Look how big these hands are. These hands are crazy looking. And they are like a really nice purple, obviously. I love that color. Super cool. And then the waistband. Take a look at that. I guess it's a piece of armor. I don't know. I just think it looks absolutely awesome. And then we have the serpent body, which has this giant fish fin at the end of it. And look at the detail in that. The paint application looks airbrushed. It looks flawless on my action figure. This part doesn't look airbrushed, obviously. Or maybe it was, and maybe they used some sort of like masking tape or something, but it is painted in a manner that makes it look like it was, you know, super intentional. Like this stripe, this gold stripe right here matches the color scheme perfectly, and it's just like the lines are very sharp. Looks really good. If we take a look at this tail, we kind of see it kind of looks like, it reminds me of like Castle Grayskull almost. Like take a look at that. You know, these scales are almost like bricks, like from Castle Grayskull, you know? I don't know, it just looks awesome. We have random bumps all over it. The bottom piece of the armor is a rubbery material. The top is like a hard, very rigid rubber. It's definitely flexible. And then the, you know, the blues, like the overall palette that they used for this just looks absolutely awesome. We have purple in the hands, purplish blue in the hands, or maybe like a really dark or cool colored violet maybe, again in the face and the head, and then around the eyes. Look at that gold around the eyes. That just looks absolutely awesome. We have gold lips. Like he looks like a piece of treasure. Maybe that's why he's so rare. He really is a piece of treasure. But this just looks absolutely awesome. Down at the bottom, this part's absolutely flat so that Mer-Man can stand on the tail perfectly. Awesome. Let's take a look at his legs, his human-like legs, rather. So this it kind of looks like maybe Clawful or Whiplash type of legs from Origins. And this isn't like the cartoon collection, so you do have that weird squat position. It's a little bit strange, but you know, when you're considering that these are creatures, it kind of fits, honestly, in my opinion. We have this beautiful, like really shiny gold belt and the purple loincloth, and then translucent legs and translucent feet, and then we have gold shin guards. We can see that this is a typical Masters of the Universe Origins peg connector right here that typically we see on the, you know, the legs itself when you're breaking the action figure apart at the waist. And this is like, I feel like it's almost iridescent, the color paint. It's very, very shiny, but also flat at the same time. The colors that they chose, the type of paint that they chose, it fits perfectly. This really, really looks like gold to me. Like maybe a lot of his armor truly is made out of sunken treasure. So now let's move into accessories, right? So we do get the trident, and as I said before, it looks just like the one that came with the cartoon collection that we did open up here on the channel already. And then we get something new, my friends. Take a look at this sword. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. It looks like there's some sort of bone material or like kelp or some sort of organic like barnacles or something like growing onto the blade itself. And it starts off on the end here, I guess before the handle, as like an aqua color, and it continues, and then it kind of turns into a gold color. And then we have like a yellowish gold all the way across the top of the blade, at least. At the bottom, we do see that aqua, and then flipping it over, it's not as gold on this side, which is okay. You know, you can display him, you know, using this side or this side, get a little bit more green on one side. I don't know if that's just a flaw with mine, but it worked out because I think that's a really good idea. And then the handle just, what is that supposed to be on the handle right there? It looks like a tiny little hand or something, or with like a bunch of fingers holding on to this piece. Like maybe this is a full tang sword and this is actually part of the metal of the sword, and then this is just an ornate little decoration. And then, you know, you have your handle, and then you have like your handguard here. Okay, so let's go ahead and take off the armor. We just have a ball joint here for the head, and then we have this connecting system right here where you just kind of pull this down, I think. Oh no, lift it up. There we go. And then this piece right here is one solid piece, so we will have to break the action figure apart at the waist. Super simple. And then we have this crazy looking body here. And I'm going to remove this piece also. And then here we go, my friends. This is what he looks like without any armor on. The top part of his body is very translucent. Yeah, you can't really see like shapes behind there, but you can in fact see a lot of light. If you take a look here, you could see pretty much straight through it. You could see through the bicep, the shoulders of the arms, and then the head. The head is pretty much translucent, but the paint on the face is opaque. As you see there, very, very cool. And then taking a look at the actual body, I'm sorry, the serpent body, I don't think this is transparent at all. Yeah, that's not, maybe it is a little bit, but not much. Let's take an even more closer, in-depth look at this crazy looking armor. Look at all of the horns and spikes. It's very ornate, and it truly looks like it's made from gold. Mattel, I don't know, they like really nailed the color right there. If they really wanted this to look like it was made from melted sunken treasure, that wouldn't really make sense though, because isn't gold like a softer material? Or maybe that's why they made it out of rubber, because it's gold, but if you bend it, it actually goes back. But yeah, I love the bone color that they put on the spikes themselves. I think that looks awesome. There's so much detail that there's even teeth. This kind of looks like shark jawbone or something here at the bottom that, you know, kind of closes like a jaw almost. Very, very cool. Shark Week is coming. That's awesome. And then we also have spikes right here and bones. It kind of looks like it's from some other sea creature maybe, or an ancient sea creature that no one knows about, or a sea creature that only exists in Eternia, my friends. I really like what they did here with the armor, how they made it kind of look like a human body with like a six-pack here and then the pecs. I think that looks really good, and it looks especially good on the action figure. Now this part is kind of like a rigid rubber, and it's not really, really soft. Now this piece is incredibly soft. I could probably just mash this up. Like, this is incredibly soft. One more thing I like to point out is that they included the connector system for a shield. Kind of like how we saw with Slacker. If we were to take that shield that was essentially the snapping turtle shell, we could in fact connect it here, or any of the shells or shields that we got from, say, Man-at-Arms or any of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in this line so far. But that's it for that piece. That's very awesome. This piece looks incredible. I love the fact that it's made from that really beautiful blue color that's shimmery, but also matte finish. But they just like airbrushed gold on here, and it's like flawless. Again, we have another blue gem right here, just like how we have right here. They kind of match here on the armor. And then flipping over to the back, as you can see, this is one big solid piece. And that just looks... I love it. I think this action figure, I've been waiting for this action figure for a long time, and I was very sad to not see it ever in my local, I don't even want to say their name. So here it is, right? With his legs, his human-like legs on, right? That's really cool. I think that's just as cool, but to me, because I've had so many Mer-Mans, I guess, throughout my life, I just really like this. I really like the serpent slash... the Mer-Man body, it's just, that's awesome. But these still look really good. And let's take a look at what he looks like with the armor on. And yeah, so this is what he looks like with all of his armor on and his human-like legs. Very cool. I'm very happy with this action figure. I love the fact that they put that piece right there, like, one of those lanternfish that you see pictures of that are very, very deep in the ocean, super mysterious and kind of scary. I think that piece kind of glows on those fish, and it attracts other fish that essentially end up as prey, and then this giant mouth just eats them. I wonder if Mer-Man does eat a lot of fish. I mean, it totally makes sense. Anyways, let's go back to this serpent-like body, and we are going to jump into articulation. So again, we saw that this is a ball joint here on the head, and the ball joint is on a large stick, essentially. So this is kind of like a joystick, I guess, that can move in any direction. There's no gate, like a joystick. Very cool. And then here's the connector, if you want to see that on the inside. This piece is like, it's kind of soft. It's not rigid, it's not hard, clear plastic. All of this stuff is kind of soft. And then you just pop it on. So with his armor on, he can look down about that much. He can look up not very far, kind of like that, a little bit higher than looking straight ahead. And then for tilt, we do get a little bit of tilt. Very cool. And then obviously you could swivel, and his armor will kind of get in the way of his lips a little bit, like if you were doing like this, but not really. He could definitely spin around perfectly fine. Moving down to the arm is in fact on a peg, a Masters of the Universe Origins peg. And this peg, I'm sorry, this hole right here points down towards the pelvis. So when you put it back on, you have to put it on this way. Now, this peg is very nice because the arm could swivel in any direction, but we also get this really nice hinge. The peg itself is part of the hinge, so the arm can move out and swivel itself. We do not have a bicep cut, and we do swivel at the elbow, thankfully, and we do have a hinge at the elbow. You can actually see it in there because it's a different color plastic. And then obviously the hands, as we saw in the instructions, they come off. Typical Masters of the Universe Origins peg, so that's going to move in all different directions. Both of these hands have their hinges in the palm, as you see right there, or at the base of the palm, so they move in and out this way. They don't move up and down, unfortunately, but that's okay. We don't have an ab crunch, obviously, as we saw whenever we took the armor off and shined the light through it, but, you know, obviously, since it's on a peg, we could swivel. That's very cool. Now, this is the fun part. So what is the articulation like in this serpent-like tail? Now, I can see 3 cuts right here. So we have this top piece, this middle section, this middle section, then this end piece, and then there's nothing else. This kind of looks like it's a cut, but it's just glued on. So as far as articulation goes, we can swivel all of these pieces. The bottom piece, yeah, is a little tough, but it can still swivel pretty far. So you could get them in some really goofy poses for like displaying or toy photography. I think that's really cool. I love this serpent body design. I think it's absolutely awesome. And then moving down to the legs, as far as the articulation goes, these are going to be typical Masters of the Universe Origins legs. So you get a really good range of articulation here at the pelvis. Mine looks like it has a little bit of mineral oil or something on it from the manufacturing process. But take a look at that. Kind of see the ball pegs inside there. Moving down to the knee, thankfully we swivel at the knee, and we also have a hinge. You can actually see the hinge inside there. Very, very cool. And then at the boot, obviously, since it's on a peg, we could swivel at the boot, which is absolutely like a necessity at this point as far as displaying your action figure in any type of battle poses. So we have the, the typical Masters of the Universe peg right there, or Origins peg right there, and then this is what the boot looks like just by itself. And then moving down to the foot, we could swivel at the foot, like kind of, you obviously have that rocker position here. So you swivel a little bit. And then as you see right there, there's a hinge that is in the front of the shin. So you can get, really good range of articulation with the feet. Like, take a look at this. This is crazy. It's much more apparent in this video. I feel like instead of like some of the other action figures, where you could see that those feet are going to be flat, absolutely flat on the ground with his legs spread that wide. So you may be thinking he doesn't really have like an absolute grip hand, to hold the trident or like the sword, right? Because look at that. But if you take a look at the top of his right hand, it actually is a grip hand. It's just kind of deceiving because of how large the fingers are, that you can see all that space through there. So you can in fact get him to hold the trident perfectly. The trident is very light, so it's not going to cause any issues. This peg, I've noticed, is kind of like pretty darn loose, and so is the hinge on this side for me. You can probably get him to hold this sword in this hand also if you wanted both weapons, but it may take some sort of sticky tack or a lot of ingenuity and balance, right? But on his right hand, he can absolutely hold this perfectly. I'm absolutely thrilled with this action figure. I think Mattel did an absolutely outstanding job with this, with the entire product design itself, getting all of that articulation, considering how much bulkiness we can see right here with all of this armor, and even the ingenuity that went into the tail itself and the paint. Like this paint palette just screams ocean or merman or mermaid to me. It's just, I don't know. This is absolutely perfect. One last thing we have to check is, how tall is he with this serpent-like body? Okay, so this is kind of a surprise. He's 6.5 inches tall. Or what is that, 16.5 centimeter, around there? He's 6.5 inches tall with this, and that's kind of like on this default setting. You know, this doesn't plunge or anything or expand. There's no type of weird drops or anything. And I didn't, even if you have him hunched back, like you can have him straight up or you can have him hunched back. I've noticed that standing straight up, he doesn't stand as easy, so I hunched him back, which made him actually even lower than what he, or I'm sorry, shorter than what he actually is, like if you had some sort of acrylic stand for this action figure. So this is a big deluxe action figure, and this is going to look absolutely fantastic among the rest of the Turtles of Grayskull villains. And again, I'm just super duper excited and happy to have this Mer-Man. I think that Mattel is going absolutely bananas with the product design itself. The color palette screams the ocean, and it's just, I love it. You know, this is just like everything Mattel's been doing. I love it. Well, that's it, my friends. I hope that you enjoyed the Toy Box Nostalgia unboxing and review and very close look at the absolute brand new 2024 Mattel Turtles of Grayskull Mer-Man action figure. This looks phenomenal. I can't wait to set this up with you to take a crazy toy photo. I'd love to know what you all think though, so please drop a comment below letting me know what you think of this crazy Mer-Man mashup action figure of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Masters of the Universe. Also, please let me know if you had any trouble trying to get this action figure, or if you just haven't even gotten it yet. I'm telling you what, they are not in my area whatsoever, and I never once saw them pop up in the app in my local area at any Walmarts. So I had to purchase this from PalmartStore.com, and I believe they're still there in stock. So thanks again, my friends, for sticking to the end. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week, and remember, collect and shoot.